Well, hey everybody, welcome to Fingerstyle Guitar number 5, where tonight we're going to teach a song I just played, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that song in just a moment. Before we get started though, I did want to tell you, for those of you that watched the Epiphone Excellente 10 months later review that I did maybe a few weeks ago, I'm not going to have to make this nut adjustment. After pulling the relief out of the neck, because it had just a little bit too much relief in it, the thing frets beautifully now. And I had mentioned my fingers had gotten a little sore down here in these open chord positions on the first couple of frets. Not anymore. So I played this thing about, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 hours straight, several times after making that neck relief adjustment. And it is absolutely perfect. I do not have to touch the nut, and that was a godsend, right? So everything about the guitar is perfect. Make me an offer, I'll turn you down, okay? It really plays beautifully. So, getting back to Fingerstyle Guitar number 5, this song is called I'll Tell the World. And I first heard this song when I was about 8 years old. So when I was a little wee fella, about yay high, I think about 6 years old, we had started my family, my dad, my mom, my brother, and I. My dad took us to this old Baptist church out about 10 miles from the house. And it was a little small country church, you know. Not a lot of people there. But the preacher's son, his name was Brother Ponder. He's not your typical preacher you see today. I'll just say that. It's just a kind, gentle man that could be a fire-breathing dragon. Okay, but he was a wonderful man. And his son, William, sang this song in church. I was probably about 8 the first time I heard it. And it really had an impact on me as a child. I mean, I had, I'll just say it had a really big impact on me as a child. And then I have spent the rest of my life, as maybe many of you have, learning how to walk. I'm 65. I'm still learning how to walk, folks. But I hope it is worthy of your time to watch. Okay? We'll just say that. Not me, but maybe the walk. Okay? So, this song was first copyrighted in 1958. And I've never mentioned this on the channel, not so that you go, oh my goodness, but more so that you understand where all my mistakes come from. I've never taken a guitar lesson. I had told Donna Mitchell that, who has a channel, and if you haven't visited Donna, I hope you do. She's a very talented lady, teaches music, and she is, I'm guessing, smart as a whip based off of what I've seen on her channel. She's a heck of a pianist, I'll tell you that, and I'll just say heck of a musician. But I had a first or second grade music teacher named Miss Payne. I'll never forget this lady. Anyway, she thought I had some kind of musical talent, and she, told my parents and wanted me to start getting involved in a bunch of lessons and all that. And come on, folks, I was 6, 7 years old. I was a kid. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go play in the dirt. But But I did like music, and so I ended up settling on picking up a guitar, which you've seen the photograph of me and my brother before. Both those guitars were my guitars, that acoustic and that little electric I had. But I didn't want to take lessons, so I went and my parents got me a chord book, where you learn how to put your fingers. YouTube's much easier, folks. It's modern technology. It's got its pluses. But that's where I learned how to make these chords down here. And then over time, as you get involved and meet other people at school and whatnot that you might have played in a band with or something, they knew bar chords. I remember the first time I learned how to make a bar chord. It's a big deal, especially if you're doing rock music, right? Because you get those power chords. But so that progression of learning was really learning by what I had heard and what I could translate from what I heard out of this guitar, or a guitar, not this one. But those earlier guitars that I had. And so that's how I play music. And I tell you that because this song that I'm about to walk through, this song has an interesting place with me because I don't think I've heard it since I was about 12 years old. And one day I was sitting on the couch with a guitar, and you know how things will come back to you sometimes, and that song came back to me because that's a very moving song, in my opinion. Yeah, I'll tell the world, right? And so I sat down and tried to, first I picked out what chords I thought I could find. Don't ask me how I landed on this chord. But I did. I landed on it. I don't think the original's like that. I've got some minors and some minor sevenths. I don't know what you call these chords, but they're not the major chord. They're the, it might be a 6 or it might be a 7. I don't know. Or it might be a minor. That I've kind of added into this because I felt like that's where it needed to go. So that first piece of it, it was just something I felt needed to go there. So, that's why it's in the song. I don't think I've heard anybody else do it that way before, but so I'll say the inspiration came from, I'm hesitant sometimes to say these things, but I'm not so hesitant with this song because I honestly think that the Lord brought this back to my memory, and for that I'm very grateful. So this one's got a really good, solid place with me, and I did the very first, I did a short with the Epiphone inspired by Gibson back here. And all I did in that video was just play this song. And I thought it was a beautiful, beautiful song. Not my arrangement of it necessarily, but just the song itself was beautiful. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take our forefinger and our middle finger, and we're going to be on strings 2 and 3 respectively, or forefinger and our middle finger. But we're going to be on the first fret with this forefinger and on the second fret with the middle finger. So string number 2, first fret, string number 3, second fret with your middle finger. Okay? And all I do is just slide that up and then release it. Slide it up to that 3rd fret, forefinger. Strike it a couple of times. Release it, put it back down, and pick up your number 6 bass note. So I go, and then I'll pick up that number 3 bass note And then pick up string number 4. No, I'm sorry. So when you slide it up, you pinch 2 and 3 and number 6. Then you're going to take your thumb on that number 4th string and then take your forefinger, pick up on number 3 and your middle finger and pick up on number 2. And then go back to number 3, number 2, number 3, number 2. And you may have to play with that a little bit. If you've never done that, I can't do it very fast. I watched Justin Johnson do this and it blows my mind. And there's a timing thing there, but you should be able to hear that, I hope. And then just keep your thumb up here if you can on this number 3 fret, number 6 string in the G position up here on your number 6 string. And as you do that, let me see. Open up, pick up 2 and 3, go back to where we were at the beginning, and slide up, and then let off, and pick up 2 and 3. Now when you go do that full G there, just leave your thumb there, skip number 5, pick up number 4, 3, 2, 1. And I just do that with my thumb. Okay? Then come back and do it again. You don't even need to hold down this bass string up here anymore. Then pick up 6 and 2 in the E minor position. No, I'm sorry. Getting ahead of myself. You're going to make a C chord, but get rid of this ring finger. And pick up 5 and 2. And that's how you're going to do it. And then once you've struck 5 and 2, 4, 3, 2, 3. And then with your forefinger, pick up that number 4 bass note right there. Once you do that, strike that number 6 open bass note. And you can hear that it doesn't necessarily go with that chord, but if you fingerstyle it, it takes you somewhere that fits. Now once you do that, do a hammer on the second string. You're still in the same position here. And you're just going to hammer on to that 3rd fret, 2nd string. Sometimes I'll just pick that up with my middle finger, do them both. Let me make sure. Yeah. So hammer onto that 3rd fret, pick up that number 1 string open, and then come back with your middle finger and pick up that number 2 string. And then make your G here without laying your little finger down. You're going to pinch 6 and 2. 2 is open. Pick up number 4, number 3, and number 2. And I do that with my thumb. Nope. I pick up number 2 with my middle finger. I do everything else with the thumb. You do it any way it's comfortable for you, though. Then make a G7 bar chord. Okay, make a G on the bar up here on the 3rd fret. Lift that little finger. Okay, and you got a G7. So what you're going to do is you're going to pinch 6 and 3 and slide it up to a sharp, a G7 sharp. I think that's what you call that. You're not going to believe this, but, well, maybe you probably will believe it, but I only learned about sharps and flats in the last year or two. Okay, I've been playing guitar since I was about 8 years old. All right. You're going to pinch 6 and 3 as you slide. Now let me see how I do that, and I'll come back and tell you what I do. Nope. Yep, 6 and 3, slide. When you slide up, pick up the number 4 bass note with your thumb. Your next number 3 string with your 4th finger, and your middle finger down here on the number 2 string. Just like that. Just take it up to there and then do the next one. And then bring it back down to a G and pinch 6 and 2. And then I'll tell you which strings to strike. Yep. 6 and 2, 4. And then I'll take my thumb and go all the way to the bottom, 1 string at a time. So let's take it up to there, okay? Yeah. Let me do that again, just to make sure I'm telling you right. Yeah, when you come back down to that G, don't hit that number 1 string. Just stop on number 2, open. Okay? Then you're going to come back and repeat that. You see. Then come back. You don't need to hit a bass note. Then make an E minor. And pinch 6 and 2. Yeah, I think that's it. Nope. Make your E minor pick up 2 and 3. Let me see how I struck that bass note, because half the time I don't pay attention to it. Okay, 2, 3, 6, 4, 5, no, 2, 3, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you're going to come to the number 3 string here. You're going to use this little finger. It's open right now because you're in an E minor. Strike it twice. And then the third time, hammer on with that little finger on the 2nd fret. And then once you do that, immediately come up and pick that G up. You don't have to lay your little finger down right then. Six and 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to leave your ring finger up here on the G fret, number 3 fret, number 6 string. And you're going to, let me see how I do that. Yeah. You're going to come down here, and you remember we started out with this. What you're going to do is, because of the resonance of your guitar, this G bass note will just be in there as a hint because of the vibration of the guitar, okay? To the point that it's not really that noticeable. Matter of fact, it's kind of hard to hear, but it is there if you've got a resonant guitar. So it's going to go. Hear it ringing? Now lay your forefinger on the number 2 fret, number 1 string, and leave your middle finger up. So right now you've only got 2 fingers on the guitar. Your number 6 string and your number 2 string down here, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to pick up on those, the number 2 and number 3 which is open, and you're going to hammer on as soon as you pick those 2 strings up. Just like that. Lift your middle finger back up, and then pick up strings 3 and 4 with your forefinger and middle finger down here, okay, on your picking hand. Just like that. And then pinch in the G position 6 and 2. No. Yeah, you're going to pick up 2 and 3 at that point. 2 and 3 and 6, the bass note at the same time. Number 4, number 3, 2, and 1, because you're going to lay your little finger down there to make your G. Okay, so everything up to that point And that's the whole first part of this song. Okay? All right, now let's move on to the second part of this. And as I said, it may not be note for note, and I've added minors and sevens and maybe even a sixth thrown in there. I don't know. One of you guitar chord experts can tell me if there's a six in there somewhere. I'm just, at this point, there could be a three in there. I wouldn't know it, okay? But I just kind of, this is just where I went with it. Does that make sense for those of you that play? So I made a C. It sounded too full, so I lifted it. Isn't that beautiful? I don't know what chord that is, but it's some kind of C. It has to be because I'm making a C, but I don't have that finger down. And that does change it, does it not? This takes it to some kind of seventh or sixth or one or two or something, you know what I mean? All right. So we'll walk through up to that point. That's the first half, and then we'll build it out from there, okay? But if you're new to this kind of playing style, just go slow. Just get that first. Now, you're going to pick up, I use my middle finger for this. I know string assignments, but sometimes you can vary that. 3 times. Leave that little finger planted on that G down here on that number 1 string, number 3 fret. And then do that augmented looking 7 C, whatever it happens to be. And pinch 5 and 1. That's 5 and 1, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, and then number 6 open. Now you can see it doesn't fit if you just play it by itself, but while the other notes are ringing and you hit that, I can't explain why it fits, but it fits. Then you're going to maintain the position, but you're going to take your little finger, you're going to slide it down to the 2nd fret, number 1 string. And then swipe the strings 1 and 2. Swipe them up. And slide that little finger up to that number 3 fret at number 1 string. And then come back down to the number 2 fret. And then lift it. And then make your G, but use your little finger on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. So it's 6 and 2, number 4, number 5, or let's do this again. 6 and 2, number 4, number 3, number 4, or number 2, sorry, number 3, number 4, number 6. Just like that. just like that. So it's, let me see. Okay. Then you're going to make your G again. You're going to swap the two bottom strings. I use my middle finger for that. I have better control with my middle finger. That's why I'm doing it that way. You could do it with your ring finger. When you come down here, now you're going to make an A7 like this, okay? But I leave my little finger planted. So it's make your A7, strike 5 and 1. 5 and 1, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, and 6, which is open. Now you see, this doesn't seem to, if you just went, sounds okay, but it really fits in the pocket there when you individualize these notes and get a tad bit of harmony going in the process. You know what I mean? Then, now what I do is, I'm making my A7 like that, is I lift up and just cover strings 2, 3, and 4 on that second fret, and I swipe up. Sometimes it's not all that easy to do, especially when you do it slow. Okay, strings 1 and 2, 1 is open. Then lay your finger down and then hammer on to that number 3 fret, number 1 string, like this. Then you're going to, I collectively take one strings, I make a D chord, hold 1, 2, and 3, and the number 4, and do that. Just twist them. I just twist those. 1, 2, and 3 strings, I'm pulling up while I'm pinching down with my thumb. Yeah, ever so lightly. And then take your thumb now, normally what I'll do is after I lightly twist them, I'll do strings 3, 2 with my thumb. I'll pick up on the number 1 string with my ring finger. And then my middle finger, I'll pick up number 2. And then I will lay my finger across the bottom 3 strings. I'm at the strings 1, 2, and 3, second fret. And I'm going to do that same twist. I think that's a D6. But I don't know that for a fact. Somebody knows if that's a D6. Would you mind telling me? So it's like this. And then I do another twist with a D7. Strings 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just like that. Now, if you're at a stage where you're struggling to make change chords, you know the only thing you have to do is just slow down. just slow down. But you have to be able to hear it where we're headed with this in your head. I mean, that's kind of a, you have to go, okay, I know where I'm going next here. I start forgetting what's next. But if you're under about the age of 60, you might be able to remember. So best of luck to you, and I hope you can get it because it is a beautiful, beautiful song. All right, so let's take it all the way up to that point where we land in D7 with strings 1, 2, 3, and 4 with a light twist, okay? Then we're going to go back to what we started with. E minor. To G. And then we're going to do that little hammer-on thing we do. And that's the end of the song, okay? So it's and there's the song, folks. It's a beautiful little fingerstyle piece. I mean, maybe I've got weird taste in music or something, but to me, that song was just absolutely beautiful. And I think more so because of the message. Yeah, folks, I'm far from ashamed of who I belong to. I think I mentioned this earlier. I'm 65. I'm still learning how to walk. You're not going to catch me, as I mentioned, with a megaphone. I'm certainly not going to try to save everybody. I don't have that capability. I'm no idiot. I know that. I know the one who has that capability, though. And if you don't know him, in his time, you will. least that's my prayer. Folks, take care of your friends, take care of your family. God bless. We'll see you next time.